Hello everyone and welcome back to Game Domain. Fans will know we here at Game Domain love the Paper Mario games. However, Paper Mario is a series that has undergone some of the most changes out of any game series. One day it's a turn-based combat game, the next it's a 2D platformer with RPG features. Today we will be using the series history to determine the foggy future of Paper Mario's next entry. The plot of any Paper Mario game revolves around the antagonist. The same is true with nearly any game. The antagonist gives you a goal, something to stop or someone to save, oftentimes both. The developers of the Paper Mario games are not very resourceful with their antagonists. No antagonist of the series has returned, except for Bowser, of course. Bowser has been the villain in 3 out of the 6 Paper Mario games, including Paper Mario 64, Paper Mario Sticker Star, and Paper Mario Color Splash. However, now that the series is returning to having interesting villains with King Ollie and the Origami King, it is hard to believe that they will return to a boring one. The developers seem to be listening to fans by including more interesting characters than the previous 2 games. The following information will include spoilers for the Origami King. 3, 2, 1... At the end of Paper Mario's 6th entry, both Olivia and her brother King Ollie tragically perish. Because of this, the characters will obviously not return for the next entry. Even if the characters were still alive, Paper Mario likes to scrap previous plot points when designing their next game, meaning it is extremely unlikely that any past plot ideas will return in Paper Mario 7. Instead, the recent Paper Mario games have centered the plot around the paper gimmick, with King Ollie being obsessed with turning everything into origami. With the previous 2 entries also being based on paper gimmicks, the design choice shows no sign of stopping. The series has already used stickers, paint, and origami, limiting the next entry to either stamps, watercolors, or general crafts. The gimmick aside, the villain will most likely utilize this gimmick to pursue their plan of destruction, such as if the Stamp King would stamp toads to mind control them. With King Ollie being a very well designed character, it is likely the Stamp King will have some motive for his plan, just as King Ollie had been driven by hatred. Nevertheless, the antagonist of Paper Mario 7 is likely to be a very well designed, unique villain that pursues their evil plan using that game's gimmick. So, Paper Mario the Stamp King very well may have a great villain and plot on par with that of the Origami King, but what is to be said about the other characters? Well, in an interview with Kensuke Tanabe, game designer for the Origami King, he stated, "From the production of Paper Mario Sticker Star onwards, we were no longer able to graphically represent individual characters, such as age, gender, etc. in the Toad NPCs, and so it has become that much more important to convey their personalities simply through text. Our writer, Mr. Taro Kudo, has been grappling with this difficult challenge since Paper Mario Sticker Star, but has managed to achieve giving all the text a sense of humor. We were able to include some toads wearing an outfit to match their role, and also created original origami characters. The Origami King pushes these limits to their max, with Ollie and Olivia being outside of the Super Mario world, having toads with unique outfits and witty dialogue, and having a pretty solid story compared to the previous 2 entries. To elaborate, Paper Mario 7's characters will likely have basic designs, with witty dialogue, and oftentimes will be familiar characters, like in the Origami King. With the characters and plot theorized, it's time to predict the gameplay. Of all the components of Paper Mario 7, the gameplay is definitely the one that's the most unpredictable. Not long after the Origami King's release, Tanabe said that striving to find new and innovative systems is the foundation of the philosophy my team and I are following when developing games. As such, I think it's a necessity that the combat system changes in every game. Due to this, it is obvious that the next game will have a combat system different from any previous game. The combat system will still be turn-based, with a new spin on it, like the Origami King. As true with most Paper Mario games, once Mario reaches the enemy, there will likely be the basic hammer/boot attack. Aside from that, it is up in the air what they will replace the ring puzzle system with. If I had to guess, I would say that the next combat system continues with puzzles, this time in a new light. Theorizing there will be a mind control aspect in Paper Mario 7, it is likely the battle will this time take place inside of the enemy's mind. The gameplay could consist of traversing different parts of the enemy's mind in order to defeat all of the stamp monsters placed there to mind control the enemy by the Stamp King. This way, Mario could view the backstory of the enemy he is saving, their childhood memories, their fears, their hobbies, and their ambitions. Exposing the player to these aspects of the enemy gives the motive to save them, therefore giving motivation to the battle system. This could also be a great way of introducing more complex story elements in the game without having to introduce new species and characters. Out of every element of Paper Mario 7, remember, the battle system is the most unpredictable. so take all of that with a grain of salt. Something that is not unpredictable about Paper Mario 7, however, is the music. It is incredibly easy to predict that the next entry in the series will have phenomenal music. All 6 others have. Origami King saw great success and praise with the jazz style of music. However, it is not certain whether that will return or not, with Paper Mario's developers often scrapping their ideas with each new entry. Jazzy or not, Paper Mario music will always have that iconic, wacky tone, which certainly will not be scrapped in the next entry. We here at Game Domain are very excited for some more gorgeous tunes when Paper Mario 7 reveals and releases. On average, Paper Mario entries take 4 years to come out. Considering Nintendo stated the Switch could live upwards of 7 to 10 years, it is safe to say that the next entry in the Paper Mario series should release either near the end of the Switch's life or at the beginning of a new console. With the Switch showing massive success, it is likely the console will persist well past 2024, meaning the next Paper Mario game will likely be featured on the Switch. That being said, Game Domain is excited to experience the wonders of Paper Mario the Stamp King for Nintendo Switch in 2024. What did you think of our predictions? Do you agree or disagree? Which parts do you think are the most likely? Do you have any predictions of your own? Make sure to let us know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe. It's completely free and helps us out a lot. You can always change your mind later. Until next time, this has been Game Domain. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Game Domain for having me on. I run the channel Don't Save the Game, where I cover various Nintendo topics related to the games and overall culture. I've covered Paper Mario a few times, so stop by the channel if you want to keep the conversation going.